praises, honor, and glory going to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstones. Salutations to all you communists out there pushing this truth with all honesty and sincerity, by way of the highways and byways, going out in the streets teaching and preaching, and also by way going out on the highways and byways, all right, Salaki, and also by way of the internet. Shalom to you, you sisters. Very few aquafists out there listening and learning. Going back to the names, Yahweh being the Heavenly Father name, which means He is or He exists. His name is not God, not Allah, not Jehovah, right? Bahashem means coming in the name, what the world ignorantly calls JC or Jesus Christ. His name is not Jesus Christ. It's not Yeshua. It's not Yehoshua. It's not Yeshaya. It's not Ushaya. It's not none of that. All right, his name is Yahweh Shai, which means He is. He saves or He delivers. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are true biblical Hebrew Israelites. So, I got a lesson for y'all. But right before I get into this lesson, well, yeah, I'll start off like this. So, as you can see on the page, on the on the screen, that is, of the body. All right, this is of course, a human body, and you got the muscles to show you the whole. What is that? The anatomy of it, human anatomy, right? And this is what it is. All right, show the muscles, the bones, the veins, all right, the heart, everything, right? And y'all gonna see why I showed y'all this, right? So it shows the brain, the skull, the lung, the stomach, the kidneys, the bladder, right? Right, this one a little bit more grainy, but as you can see, got the nose, lips, right? Everything. So we're gonna come back to this, right? Now this right here, this was earlier today. I put it up on my page. I was gonna do a lesson on this, but I didn't. All right, because I already had the lesson that I wanted to do with the human anatomy, which I'm doing right now. But I may do a lesson on this one, either tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening. All right, at night, like around like this time or something like that. All right. And hopefully I can make that one quick, because with the news ones, I'll be kind of quick with them. But as you can see, it says Apple Digital ID can now be used in some airport TSA lines. What to know? All right, so the digital ID is here. It says new digital ID can be used instead of a real ID at airports for domestic travel, and international travel will still require a physical passport. Apple promises digital ID data is encrypted for extra security. That's what they say. The company is just extra control. The company won't be able to see when and where users present ID or what data was shared, Apple says, adding it must be presented using a face or touch ID, all right, to prevent anyone from using another digital ID. All right, so like I said, this is an article that's on Forbes. You could read more about it and stuff like this. I'm just gonna save it on this tab. As you can see, man, hey, it's already here in the U.S., bro, and it's by Apple, right? That's some big news. This is very, very big news, man. All right, it's another step closer. All right, while all these news files of Epstein and emails and all that stuff and all that junk, all that folliness, all right, it's been, wars going on, and with those wars, it's been a lot of system updating, all right, beast system upgrading, okay? So I figured I would show you that, just like a quick one, and now I'm gonna continue on to my other lesson. So like what I said, human anatomy. Let's see if we can get some more pictures. and stuff like that, all right? Because we about to get a scripture in a second. Let's go here. Skeleton system, muscular. Let's see if it load up a little bit better. Say India, though. I don't know if I fuck with that. Hold on, let me see, y'all. Let me get something else. Okay. So as you can see, right, you got the brain, lungs, heart, liver, kidney, gallbladder, right? Of course, you got your skin, right? Your arteries, all right? Your muscles, all right? So let's go ahead and get into this lesson. I don't really know what I'm going to entitle this, but it's going to be called One Body, One Spirit, all right? Because within this meat suit that you see is a spirit, all right? All right, that the Lord created, and we all have one. You know, that's what we are. All right. Now let me go ahead and get this, because if you ever notice, when people die, their body is cold. You know, their body don't stay warm. When the soul leaves, their body gets cold. All right. Uh. Anyway. So I'm gonna start off with one body. All right. I'm gonna start off with the one body and spirit, and then we gonna go ahead and move over to the truth. Now, I'm gonna let you know right now, this lesson could have been way, way, way more longer. Like, this could have been, this could have been, this could have been like, oh my goodness, man. You know, it could have been way too long. Probably like 2 hours, bro. 2, 3 hours, maybe even 4. But that's doing too much. You know, I just had so many scriptures. I was like, man. All right, but I wrote down a nice little bit, so probably gonna be here for a nice little 45 to an hour. All right, so let's go ahead and get the first one. All right, the first one I got, of course, is Romans chapter 12. All right, we was just in this yesterday. All right, it says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies. All right, Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as the Most High have dealt to every man the measure of faith. For as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office. All right, just like you seen with the human anatomy or whatever, you know, just like with the human body. All right, just in general. All right, your fingers, all right, your toes and stuff like that. You need those. All right. It says, verse 4, Romans 12:4 says, for as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office, it says, so we, being many, are one body in Hamashiach, and every one members of one of another. All right, having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the portion of faith, proportion of faith. All right, because everybody, well, I ain't gonna say everybody, but every brother, okay, that's in this thing of ours, all right, is a different part of the body. All right, you got some brothers, like what I said, you got some brothers who real good at history. You got some brothers who like super quick. Like when it come to the news, or you got some people who just like dig deep, like deep information and like stuff like that. You got all kinds of stuff, man. You got brothers who do all kinds of things, man. All right, everybody got their gift. All right, and it's gonna go into it. It says or ministry. It says, let us wait on our ministering, or he that teacheth on teaching. It says, or he that exhorteth or exhortative or exhortation, he that giveth, let him do it with simplicity. He that ruleth with diligence, he that sheweth mercy and cheerfulness. Mercy with cheerfulness. Salakia. All right, and then it says, let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil, cleave to that which is good. Yeah, and that's what we're supposed to do. All right. Let me get the definition for it.
Strong's G 505. Anupakritos. Strong's G 505. Anupakritos.
Sincere. Okay, sincere. It says, let love be without sincere. Abhor that which is evil. So yeah, so let me get this as well, because I wanted to grab this in the NLT, right? Yeah, this is Romans 12:1. You see the heading, it says a living sacrifice to the Most High, because that's what we are at the end of the day. All right, in this one body, all right, we're sacrificing ourselves to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, basically, you know, and heralding his coming, you know what I'm saying? Making sure we doing right ourselves. All right. It says Romans 12:1 in the NLT. It says, and so, dear brothers and sisters, I plead with you to give your bodies to the Most High because of all he has done for you. Let them be a living and holy sacrifice, the kind he will find acceptable. This is truly the way to worship him. See, it says, don't copy the behavior and the customs of this world. Yeah, you don't want to do that, bro. Like this is why we keep telling you, we go over these things over and over every day. It's repetitive. It has to be repetitive. You know what I'm saying? People, and people be like, man, that shit, but hey, then they come up and be like, hey man, you was right the whole time. Damn, hey man, you was right about that. Them things did start to come to pass. Or some people don't even like to admit it, but then deep down in their soul, they know. A lot of people don't like to admit they fuck ups. Anyway, it says, don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let the Most High transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know the Most High's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. See? It's a lot. Let me give me some Vaseline. My motherfucking. Damn. I ain't even. Where the fuck? This ain't. Oh, here it go. That one ain't gonna do it. It's starting to get cold out, man. You gotta make sure you got some chapsticks and some Vaseline or something for your for your lips, man, and for your skin, man. It be getting cold as fuck out here in Ohio. Where am I at? Slocky, y'all. It says the Most High transform you into the new person by changing you by the way you think, right? It says, then you will learn to know the Most High's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. Right? It says, because of the privilege and authority the Most High has given me, I give each of you this warning. Don't let you don't think don't think you are better than you really are. Be honest in your evaluation of yourselves, measuring yourselves by the faith of the Most High has given us. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to constantly, let me change this. We're supposed to constantly check on ourselves, all right? Check each other, make sure each other ain't going off, so like when brothers, if brothers say something wrong, you be like, hey, brother, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might have meant this scripture, it wasn't this scripture, you might have meant this, or, how sometimes brothers be like, hey, if you can, man, put that down in the chat. But it's all supposed to be one, in the truth. You know what I'm saying? Everybody supposed to work. It's like a music group, man, like a band, right? What do a band? What is a band? Right? Let me get it. Right? Look, this is the instruments of a band, right? I was trying to find some jigs, right? They got all these fucking weirdos and shit. But let's just say any of them, man. I'm just trying to give a little example. Let's just go back up to the top. I just click on this. All right, so look, you got everybody in the band, right? Where you got this. Everybody got their part, man. Everybody is important, all right, in this truth of ours, all right? And we all got a job, all right? That's all that is, okay? You got some brothers to play the drums. You got some brothers, I don't even know all the instruments. I used to only play the snare drum back in my heyday, you know what I'm saying? I used to play the snare drum and stuff for my school. And the bass drum, snare drum, bass drum. You got the trumpet, right? You got the flute, right? You got the one dude that got the stick. You know what I'm saying? He be cold. He be in the front with it, like he like the leader. You know what I'm saying? He got like you got the people with the flags. You know what I'm saying? You got everybody. Everybody is important in this thing, man. Just because some brothers is way better in something, you may be, better in something that may be better than that brother. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we make up for each other's faults. All right, that is the point. Okay, that's the point of this body. All right, that you see. I hope I'm making sense. Um, so let's continue. I was trying to let me get this rainforest going. I think an ad might play. That's cool. 6 seconds. Probably gonna play another one. I muted though. It says, where we at? So verse 3. Honest in your evaluation, measuring yourselves by the faith which the Most High has given us, right? Verse 4, Romans 12:4 in the NLT, it says, just as our bodies have many parts and each part has a special function. So it is with Yahweh Shah Mashiach's body. We are many parts of one body. And we all belong to each other. All right. It says, in his grace, the Most High has given us different gifts for doing certain things well. So if the Most High has given you the ability to prophesy, speak out with as much faith as the Most High has given you. You see? So if you're because you get built up in the spirit when you get taught, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, you be taking all these notes, you get built as, that's how I was. You know what I'm saying? That's how I got built up in the spirit. And then I had met the brothers GMS Cleveland back in the day. Then I had split off with this group, but I ain't know they was making it seem like they was part of GMS the whole time. So then they started tweaking. Probably like 6 months. something like that ago. I branched off from there, and then I just been teaching on my own ever since. But I'm not I'm not like how can I explain this? I'm not like downtown type Cleveland or nothing like that. I'm more like um in the Ville, like Heights and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I was trying to see if I can, you know what I'm saying? I hit up one of the brothers on GMS Cleveland page. I said, hey, if you got anybody to be teaching and preaching and stuff like that over here by the Heights, you know what I'm saying? Just let me know, or you know what I'm saying, or you know, because they probably think like, who is him or whatever. But if they go to my page, they'll see it and be like, wait a minute, I know him or I recognize him or, because I let them know where I was, like, you know. But if they don't get back to me, then I'll just get back to them again. You know what I'm saying? And then if not, it's all cool, bro. You know what I'm saying? I go out there in the morning anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm down the street. You know, my car ain't the best, but I do what I do. You know what I'm saying? So you still gotta go out and do this work, no matter what, man. Even if you a 1-man army, two man, 3-man. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, or if it's 10 of y'all out there, or 50. Well, not 50, but you know what I'm saying? Because you get to a certain point that people break off and do many, you know. So you know, one brother, you know, you might get brothers to go from this part to this part of the city to another part of the city with another partner. You know what I'm saying? And then they, you know, and then they prophesy out there on the other side of the city. You know, that's why I basically thought that was going on with my situation. But I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get too much into that because I already explained that shit. All right. Anyway, uh, it says we are many parts of one body and we belong one to each other. Yeah. So verse 7 it says if you're given if your gift, Salakia, if your gift is serving others, serve them well. If you are a teacher, teach well. All right. If your gift is to encourage others, be encouraging. Right. You be like, hey man, you know, hey, there you go. Right. It says if it is giving, give generously, right? If the Most High has given you leadership ability, take the responsibility seriously. And if you have a gift for showing kindness to others, do it gladly. You know what I'm saying? I just got done. It was Issachar. You know what I'm saying? He did a live or whatever today. I was the only one, you know what I'm saying, showing some love up in there. You know, then I had headed out. But then when he had seen me, he was like, man, you the only one that look out for me, man. You know what I'm saying? But you know, he in the world, man. He don't even know what's going on. Then they got this shit with Trump. They talking about Trump gave um, Bill Clinton a blowjob and shit. I'm like, oh my goodness, this folly shit, man. This shit got to stop. You know, I was trying to let them know, like, man, you hear about that Trump stuff, or you hear about this Apple stuff, you know? And them, man, he was like, no, man, I don't even watch the news. I'm like, man, these people through. But I gave him my YouTube channel. You know, that's the only thing I can't do. You know what I'm saying? I gave it to him, and I be telling him, I be like, did you subscribe? He be like, man, you gotta comment down in the comment section below. And I do on his YouTube video, but he'll never get back with me. I'll be like, all right. And he know he know I'm a preacher. Well, you know, teacher, whatever. I don't like to say I ain't no preacher. I don't like saying I'm a preacher. I just like saying I'm a messenger. All right. Anyway, this is First Corinthians 6:15. It says, know ye not that your bodies are the members of Hamashiach? Shall I then take the members of Hamashiach and make them the members of an harlot? God forbid, right? It says, what know ye not that he which is joined to an harlot is one body? For two saith he shall be one flesh. But he that is joined unto the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is one spirit. You see, one body, one spirit, right? It says, flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body. But he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body. All right. There you go. It says flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body. But he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body. It says, what know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, which is in you, which ye of the Most High, and not your own. Okay. And I also want to get this in the NLT, but just this first verse. All right, 1 Corinthians 6:15 NLT. It says, "Do you realize that your bodies are actually parts of Hamashiach?" Right. It says, "Should a man take his body, which is part of Hamashiach, and join it to a prostitute? Never." Right. There you go. Verse 17 says, but the person who is joined to the Lord, Yahbashim Yahushua, right, is one spirit with him. All right. Let me grab this. I wonder what the weather gonna be on Sunday. I think it's supposed to be like 40. I think it's supposed to be like 40 or something. 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and 12. All right. It says, "For as the body is one that hath many members, and all the members of that one body, being many, are one body, so also is Hamashiach. For by one Spirit we are all baptized into one body, whether it be we Jews or Gentiles." All right. Gentiles meaning, the Israelites who didn't know they was Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Who was going off, who was sinning. All right. But then ended up becoming Israelites. Then they know that they Israelites and stuff like that. All right. Because the Jews is the Israelites. They already know who they was. All right. Anyway, whether we be Jews or Gentiles, whether we be bond or free, and have been all made to drink into one spirit. All right. It says, "For the body is not one member, but many. If the foot shall say, because I am not the hand, I am not of the one body, is it therefore not of the one? Is it not therefore of the body? And if the ear shall say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? If the whole body were an eye, were the hearing, if the whole were hearing, where were the smelling?" Right? It says, "But now hath the Most High set the members, every one of them, in the body, as it hath pleased him. And if they were all one member, where were the body?" All right. So everybody is already, this is already predestinated anyway. So if you, like we was talking about the leaders, and you got some people who like, hey man, you gotta go out and prophesy. You know what I'm saying? Or you got some people who like the gift. You know what I'm saying? They do it. They just telling you how to do it and stuff like that, right? But the Most High already done preordained that. So you know what I'm saying? You gonna fulfill your lot in general. You know. So you can't even be mad at it. That's why you can't never, like, that's how people end up, that's how you start shit too. When you, like what I said that yesterday. When people think they got higher authority more than the teachers that taught you or the people that come before you, and you be like, no, I think that I'm supposed to be over him. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's best. It's like why I always just say it's just best just to shut the fuck up and do what's right. You know, that's what I say. You know, do what's right. The Lord gonna show you a lot. You know, He'll show you. You know, you gonna get your teachers. All right, and you will get built up, and then you know that spirit to deal with you however way the Lord want you to be. You know. Anyway, verse 19 it says, and if they were all one member, where were the body? But now are they many members yet, but one body? All right. Yeah, let me get this. 1 Corinthians 12 and 21. Yeah, and the eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. Nay, much more those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary. Right? So, like a pinky, right? Somebody smash your fucking pinky or your pinky is gone. Your pinky is very important, right? Just saying, your pinky toe, anything like that. You know, one of your toes missing, that can fuck up your balance. You know, so hey, you know, every body part counts. An eyelid, everything count. All right, everybody. All right, everybody is in this thing. All right, not everybody, but the brothers. You know, starting off with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down. All right, and those brothers who teaches the likewise doctrine. But other than that, they not in that. All right, they not, because they going off. All right, I haven't read. I really don't know nobody besides GMS that's actually correct. It says, "In those members of the body which we think to be less honorable, upon these we bestow more abundant upon honor, and our uncomely parts have more abundant comeliness." All right, everything is important. The head, the hands. All right, just because you see the head and the hands and stuff like that, don't mean your inside is not important, right? It says that there should be no schism in the body, basically, not no back and forth, you know, in the congregation. Let's see what schism mean. Rant, division. See, division, split, gap. All right, in teaching, especially not in your doctrine, and no fighting amongst brothers. You know, you supposed to be. You supposed to be. We know that already though. But you know, just for the edification for y'all, it says what else? But some, you know, you got some of these groups out here, man. They be fighting and everything. I heard IUIC allegedly be having these fights and stuff like that in their congregation. All right. 1 Corinthians 12 and 24 says, "For our comely parts have no need, but the Most High have tempered the body together, having given more abundant honor to the part which lacked, that there should be no schism in the body, but that the members should have the same one for another. And whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it, or one member be honored, all the members rejoice with it. Now ye are the body of a Mashiach, and members in particular, and the Most High have sent some in the church first apostles, secondary prophets, thirdly teachers, after that miracles and gifts of healings, helps, governments, diversities of tongues. All right, brothers in the truth know how to speak different languages. All right, bilingual, trilingual, quilingual, whatever it is. You know, I only know I speak a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of Chinese, a little bit of Russian. Like that's it. You know, just a couple words, couple scattered little words. You know, Hebrew. Little Greek. Know a little something, right? Well, know a little something through the truth I've been learning. You know, the Russian shit and all that. Just that's like TV and all that. Um, but yeah, it says, and cause on that RT News, they be speaking. They be having no Russians on there, right? Verse 29, it says, are all apostles, are all prophets, are all teachers, are all workers of miracles, have all the gifts of healing, do all speak with tongues, do all interpret, but covet earnestly the best gifts, and yet shew I unto you a more excellent way. And I'm going to get this into NLT as well. Like what I said, this is probably going to be a pretty long lesson. But, hey, you gotta get this understanding through to people, man. Some people would be harder to understand. All right, say one body with many parts, right? Going back to it. All right, one body, many parts. All right, you need your finger, your toes, your veins, all right, your stomach, your spleen, your heart, right? Your private parts, you need those, right? Need your eyeballs. Imagine, cause it's brothers that's in the truth that they gotta read the Bible in Braille, like off of and this is no disrespect, like what's that? The Book of Enoch, you know. The one chick, the one Judite chick, or the so-called black woman that was in the movie, that was with the Esau Edom, so-called white man the master, right? She was hiding behind him. She was blind, but she knew how to basically read Braille. You know what I'm saying? So that was different. You know what I'm saying? So then when the book came at the, I don't know, y'all, I'm pretty sure everybody's seen it by now. So when the book came at the end, and the book was open, he thinking he about to read it with his eyes, and he don't know how to read Braille. It was some cold shit. That was the coldest shit. That shit was cold. But he already knew what it was. You know what I'm saying? It was a cold movie, man. Cold movie. If you ain't go check it out, gotta go check it out. Anyway, 1 Corinthians 12:12 says the human body has many parts, but many parts. Yeah. It says, but the many parts make up one body, make up one whole body. So is the with the body of Hamashiach. Say some of us are Jews, some are Gentiles, some are slaves, and some are free, but we have all been baptized into one body by one Spirit, and we all share the same Spirit. See, that's why I was like, these Gentiles, when going to Gentiles, we already got breakdowns over the Gentiles over and over again. All right. Anyway, it says, yes, the body has many different parts, not just one part. It says, if the foot says, I am not part of the body because I am not a hand, that does not make it any less a part of the body. And if the ear says, I am not part of the body because I am not an eye. Would that make it any less a part of the body? If the whole body were an eye, how would you hear? Or if your whole body were an ear, how would you smell anything? But our bodies have many parts, and the Most High has put each part just where He wants. See, so there's nothing you can do about it. It says how strange a body would be if it had only one part, right? It says, it says yes, there are many parts, but only one body. It says the eye can never say to the hand, I don't need you. The head can't say to the feet, I don't need you. In fact, some parts of the body that seem weakest and least important are actually the most necessary. Gentlemen, you know what I'm saying? Shit, that's how it is. Cause you need your balls. You know what I'm saying? Need your balls. It is what it is, man. That's true. That's true. It says in the parts we regard, all right, but it's just talking about like in the truth. So like in the truth, you got some brothers that just came into the truth. All right, you just can't, be talking down on somebody that just came into the truth and stuff like that. And they just now learning. You don't talk shit to your congregation. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's madness. It says, and the parts we regard are less honorable are those we clothe with the greatness care. It says we carefully protect those parts that should not be seen. See, because and then yes, should not be seen. Like what I was talking about with that situation, right? Like the brother who just come in or whatever. He don't need to go out there on the streets. He don't need to be seen out there on the streets. He just came into the truth. What you know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. He just came to the truth a week ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta wait. Let him, just can't get anybody around you, right? It's 1 Corinthians 12 and 24. It says while the more honorable parts do not require the special care, so the Most High has put the body together such that extra honor and care are given to those parts that have less dignity. It says this makes for harmony among the members so that all the members care for each other. It says if one part suffers, all the parts suffer with it. And if one part is honored, all the parts are glad, right? So, like, speaking about the situation, like if a brother just came into the truth 2-3 days ago, and then like you got him out there teaching and preaching, how the fuck would you do that? You know what I'm saying? You got to be held responsible for that, and everybody gonna hurt because of that. Now you fucking everything up. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's somebody speaking some crazy shit, some crazy, you done got him in here, and now he bringing his crazy ass doctrine that he didn't learn from the world for the past 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's why you just can't trust everybody, man. It says if one part suffers, all the parts suffer with it. If one part is honored, all the parts are glad. It says all of you together are Hamashiach's body, and each of you is a part of it. All right. Verse 28, it says, here are some of the parts the Most High has appointed for the church. First are the apostles. All right, you got the apostles and the elders, right? Apostles. Second are the prophets. Third are teachers. Then those who do miracles, those who have the gift of healing, those who can help others, right? Those who have the gift of leadership, those who speak in unknown languages. Okay, which basically, like I said, like these languages today that we got today, you know, it says, are we apostles? Are we all apostles? Are we all prophets? Are we all teachers? Do we all have power to do miracles? Do we all have the gift of healing? Do we all have the ability to speak in unknown languages? Do we all have the ability to interpret unknown languages? Of course not. So how it says, so you should earnestly desire the most helpful gifts, but now let me show you a way of life that is best of all. All right. So it's not everybody gonna get all this, right? Can't be you can't be you can't do miracles, uh, speak unknown languages, be a prophet and a teacher, which is kind of like almost hand in hand. You know, like come on, like no, no. All right, and yes, you may have a little bit, because some, Jake is seasoned. All right, so of course brothers supposed to know a little bit of history and know a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but we supposed to know the scriptures, mainly, these scriptures in the history part. All right, but then like of course like you got brothers doing miracles, brothers who be gifting and stuff, brothers who be sending tights. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of things, man. All right, the sisters do brothers garments, right? They in there too. Can't forget about the sisters, yo. Right? But anyway, let me go ahead and go to my next one. This is Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 1. It says, I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called. It says, with all lowliness and meekness and long suffering, forbearing one another in love, enduring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit. See, there's one body and one Spirit, even as ye are called in the hope of your calling. All right. It says, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one power. All right. And Father of all, who is above all, and through all, and in you all. All right, and you got to know them names. All right, you got to know the names, and everybody got to speak the same thing. All right, because again, it's like if you got a cup of water, right, and you put a drop of green dye in there, then the whole cup of water gonna turn green, right, or become contaminated. Now, if that was some poison, right, some shit to knock you out, then that'd be, you know what I'm saying, end up being messed up. And somebody else come and drink that poison, thinking it's just, somebody might have a family member, they come and, you know, drink it. So yeah, man. And I'm saying that to talk about as in like the congregation. All right, you can't be speaking false things in the congregation. All right, these different philosophies and shit. These niggas, these fucking pastors, man. I'm telling y'all, these pastors, man, they gonna be destroyed, man. I can't wait. Right. But anyway, continuing on, it says, um, uh, one power, our Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. Right. It says, but unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Mashiach. Wherefore he said, when he ascendeth up on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men. Now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth? He descended, and he that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might feel all things. All right, it says, and he gave some apostles and some prophets, right, and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body. Okay, for the edifying of the body. What is let's get a regular. For the edifying of the body, to instruct, to improve, especially in moral and and religious knowledge, uplift. What's the synonyms? Right? Inspire, educate. Right? What do educate mean? To provide schooling. All right? Yeah, like a teacher. All right? You'd be like, hey, this is that. You know, I don't even know what teacher I would be. I would probably be like a history teacher, reading something like that, reading history, writing, not writing. I wasn't really good at writing. I might have to take writing my damn self. It says to provide schooling for, to train by formally instruction and supervise practice, especially in a skill, trade, or profession. All right, to educate. All right, to persuade or condition to feel, believe, or act. All right, educate, teach, teach. All right, so let's go back. Um, so yeah, it says for the perfecting of the saints. All right, it says for the perfecting of the saints. The saints are the Israelites. Psalms 50 and 16, and Psalms 148 and 14. All right, it says for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach, till we all come in the unity of faith and of the knowledge of the Son of the Most High, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Hamashiach, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with the every wind to doctrine, by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. And them churches, man, them churches in Esau, Edom. But speaking the truth in love, right? The truth, truth. All right, this is about one body, one spirit, and truth. All right, that's what this lesson is about: one body, one spirit, truth, and these wicked ass pastors. All right, it says, but speaking in the truth and love, may grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even Hamashiach. Right? It says, from whom the body fitly joined together and compacted by that which every joint supplieth, according to the effectual working in the measure of every part, maketh increase of the body unto the edifying of itself in love. Cause we all helping each other out. All right, I'm gonna get this in the NLT. Right, that's why I'd be like, it'd be like parts of this video, you know, if you ever want to, you can like go, I suggest you don't, but if you want to, you can go ahead and skip forward or whatever if you don't want to see me read in certain versions, or if you really don't care as much, or if you just want to read it later or go back on the video later. I don't mind. This is Ephesians 4 and 1. It says, therefore I, a prisoner for serving the Lord Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Yahweh Shai, beg you to lead a life worthy of your calling, for you have been called by the Most High. Always be humble and gentle, be patient with each other, making allowance for each other's faults because of your love. It says, make every effort to keep yourselves united in the spirit, binding yourselves together with peace. There is one body and one spirit, just as you have been called to one glorious hope for the future. There is one Lord, one faith, one baptism, and one power and Father, right? So it says there is one Lord, all right, one Yahweh Shai, yo, one Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, all right, one faith, one baptism, one Father, one power and Father, all right, which is Yahweh, who is over all and living through all, right? Now I want to. It's oh yeah. It says, however, we has. It says, however, he has given each one of us a special gift through the generosity of Hamashiach. The person's still alive. That's crazy. In verse 8, it says, this is why the scriptures say, when he ascended to the heights, he led a crowd of captives and gave a gift to his people. Hold on, I'm scroll down a little bit, y'all. All right, it says, Ephesians 4 and 11, it says, now these are the gifts Hamashiach gave to the church: the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, and the pastors and the teachers. Their responsibilities is to equip the Most High's people to do his work and build up the church. All right, the body of Yahweh Shai. I wonder, does it say? Oh, it just says it don't let me know in the damn. I know that word church there. I think that word church is Israelites, because when you look up church in the blue letter in the Greek, is usually the assembly of the Israelites. But anyway, if y'all know, y'all can put that down in the comment section. Ephesians 4 and right. Yeah, so this is the duty. All right, this is our duty to work and build up the church, the body of a Mashiach Yahweh Shai. All right, verse 13 says, this will continue. We all come to such unity in our faith and knowledge of Yahweh's Son that we will be mature in the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, measuring up to the full and complete standard of Hamashiach. All right. It says, Khan says, then we will no longer be immature like children. We won't be tossed and blown about by every wind of new teaching. We will not be influenced when people try to trick us with lies so clever they sound like the truth. All right, and that's what they do. That's what they do, man. I'm telling you, them churches, wicked ass pastors. Instead, we speak the truth in love, growing in every way, more and more like Mashiach, who is the head of his body, the church. He makes the whole body fit together perfectly. As each part does its own special work, it helps the other parts grow, so that the whole body is healthy and growing and full of love. All right, and that's all right. It's a unity thing. It's a team thing. All right, let's get another example. I told y'all, man, this was gonna be pretty long, and this could have been way longer, but and this might have to be into parts, man. I ain't gonna lie. But hold on. All right. Let's get a different example. I put a band, right? What people like? People like what? Football, right? All right. Let's put in football team positions, right? Let's see what it gives us. They gave us this. They gave us to actually like like I'm about to play a game and shit. Alright, so what's this right here? Alright, here we go. So on the blue side, favorite color is blue. On the blue side, right, you got the tackle, you got end, right? You got the outside linebackers, right? You got the cornerbacks, the middle linebacker, and the two safeties, right? On the red side, you got the tight end, you got the wide receiver, right? You got the tackle, the guard, the center. Everybody got to play their position, all right? Let's go to oh, they already. All right, I'm just making it simple. I'm just making it simple. All right, but you got this, right? I might have to go to the website for that one. Let me see this one. All right, there we go. Basketball positions, right? I like basketball more than football. Point guard, nobody cares though. Point guard, all right. Shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center, right? Point guard, the team's primary ball handler and ball player, right? Shooting guard, focus on scoring, especially from the long range, all right. Small forward, all right. Versatile player, skilled in both offense and defense, all right. Power forward, strong player who scores inside and rebounds. All right, you need them rebounds. Center, tallest player, dominant, near the rim, controls, rebounds, and blocks shots. All right. So there you go. They show you the positions on the court. All right, point guard, center. No small forward. Well, they showing you just that right there, but you get it, right? So there you go. Uh, all right, yeah. So let's go to my next one. This is Colossians chapter 3, verse 12. It says, "Put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, uh, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, and long suffering." Right? It says, "Forbearing one another and forgiving one another, if any man have a quarrel against any, even as Hamashiach forgave you, so also do ye." All right, in the NLT it says, "Since the Most High chose you to be holy people, He loves." It says, "You must clothe yourselves with tender-hearted mercy, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience." All right, we was talking about patience yesterday. All right, you gotta have humility. These niggas don't have humility. They don't want to be like, you know what, I was wrong, man. You right. Let me go down and humble myself, man. You know, cause it's the only way, and hey, this the only way. You know, just you know, but these people can't do that, right? It says, "Make allowance for each other's faults and forgive anyone who offends you." remember the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua forgave you, so you must forgive others, and that's a hard thing as well. But you do, I do it. I'd be like, because a lot of people whoever came up against me or anything, a lot of times it's my people anyway. So I just be like, Lord willing, he repent. But if he don't, that's his ass. That ain't. It is what it is. Let's be honest. Um, so we gonna get into the truth now. All right, now this part, I don't. I might go ahead and pause this, and then maybe go into the part two. Um, you know what? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pause it, and I'm gonna go into the part two. The part two is the truth. All right.